Welcome to the Squarebase Show, where we become omni hobbyists. Join us and join yourself in getting ready to paint some minis. That was not a good intro, but here we are anyway.
No, I think it was pretty good.
I don't know.
Omni hobbyist sounds good.
Omni hobbyists.
A bit of a mouthful. We could workshop it. We'll workshop it in the hobby workshop.
We need to workshop it. Definitely.
Let's call Eric. We'll call Eric. He's got a hobby workshop, and
get us in. Book us in, Eric.
We need help.
Well, sure, Eric's a perfect person to bring up because we made Eric an omni hobbyist. What am I talking about? Okay. Hello, everyone. This is my harebrained scheme, and Val's going to shoot it down as we go through. But this is something that I'm super excited about now that we started to move towards the kind of now I've got a little bit more free time. I can start looking at everything we're doing on Squarebase. And the thing that I'm excited about is the entire of the old world. Now, obviously, me and Val, we want it all. Me and Val cover loads of, we do the rules. We'll do the crunchy rules deep dives. We'll do stuff no one else will do because we are ultimately, Val and me, we have the same, we do have the same goal. It's to play games well at events. That's always been our thing. So like we talk about terrain, we talk about pairings apps, we talk about a bunch of stuff which is probably pretty boring, but is pretty integral.
We like playing the games with people.
We bloody do. I don't know why. But there is more to the hobby. And me and Val are still, and this might surprise people to know, are actually also big proponents of the other parts of the hobby. We love minis, and we also love the lore. So more on lore in another video, but that will be coming. Because we are, and that's kind of the pitch. The initial pitch is I'd love us to be omni hobbyists. So I'd like us to be involved in all three kind of major tentpole elements. We already do gaming and events. I consider them to be one thing.
Yes.
So we're going to always keep up with rules. We're always going to keep up with doing deep dives and doing like list stuff, all sorts of things. That's always going to be where we're at. But me personally, I'm now just like, do you know what? I really want to go back. I want to start looking at the lore of where we're at because this is a video that Val did all the way back where he kind of
first episode, in fact.
Yeah, he was like, do you know what? This is where we could be, but I actually don't even know where we are. RB, definitely excellent there.
I don't know where you are in this paragraph, man, but I'm vibing. I'm vibing.
So I'd like to get back to that, but we'll put a pin in that for now because we're coming back to that on another show. Today, I want to talk about painting, and I would like to commit me and Val. I'd like to commit me and Val, and also the Squarebase community to get minis painted. Because the only way that we can get minis painted, Val, the only way we can attend events if we get our minis painted. So that's always like a little element that we've always had to do. Yes. So I thought, let's do once a month. Let's do a painting competition. Let's run it through Squarebase. Well, you're my inspiration. I want to say this, pal. You ran the Squarebase online tournament where people could play games together online. And now I'm like, cool, let's start connecting the hobby community in with this as well. That's a big deal, right? What
I'm saying is that this internet thing might be something.
Might be a phase. I'm not sure. It might be a phase. Yeah.
I think I would love the idea of doing a hobby challenge because I think also like if we're going to be inclusive, if we're going to be vast about things, there's all kinds of different ways that people engage with this hobby. I'm impressed how many times we see people who are like, I can't stand, going to a tournament, or I've never actually played a game, or you guys have dumb hats in our comments, and. But however, I watch every show, I've been with you guys since the beginning. So we see that all the time. And I would love the idea of engaging with other elements of the hobby a lot more that other people really love, give people something else that they can really glob onto that we do out here. Because again, for us, it's about bringing people together with a really narrow common interest. But even within that narrow common interest, there's lots of stuff we can do. And I don't know if you folks out there know this, but in another life, Rob is in fact one of the most influential, this is actually not even a joke. Not even a joke.
I wish it was.
One of the most influential hobby YouTubers that perhaps has ever walked this earth. To the point that like all of the legitimate hobby YouTubers have all made content entirely based on Rob's approach to the hobby in the past. And I will say this as well. This is a true hobby bona fide, because I want to say something, because one, a lot of, and I'm referring to, of course, the legendary Slap Chop video. If you haven't watched the original Slap Chop video, please do. It's a bit of a piss take. However, underneath that was something motivated by, I think, a very genuine impulse by my dear friend Rob, which was to provide a way for people to get models painted efficiently, effectively, get them on the table so that they could play games. And I will tell you this, it actually changed how I approached hobby, made it a lot more fun for me because I could get results really quickly using some really cool paint technology and stuff. It made a big difference for me in my hobby, and it engaged me because it was a hilarious video. So Rob, you've done this before. We can do it again. And I love the idea of a hobby challenge. How do you see this thing unfolding? What is your vision for this?
Well, okay. So my concept is, because actually I can't remember who was. I think actually it was Chris downstairs. He hit me on this a couple of weeks ago because he got him. Because Chris was like, I've got myself an Orcs and Goblins army. He's like, he asked me a couple of questions about it, and I was like, I was like, just paint yourself up a level 4. So, and he was like, what does that mean? And I kind of explained it to him. And obviously, if you're listening to this, you know what that means, a level 4 wizard. And the reason is because that's just such a points dense thing that you can immediately paint, right? Like it's so points dense that if you wanted to play 1,000 points or 1,500 points, immediately you can start playing games having painted a single figure, which I think that's already a good start. That's already like making a lot of sense. And also for painters, it's also like a really fun big challenge which people are excited about. So what do I envision? Okay, so you and I think we love working to goals, I think, and like even if it's last minute, if there's a deadline, that just means that we know that the 24 hours before the deadline is crunch time. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I went to bed at 3 a.m. last night to be ready for the show today. So yes, Rob, deadlines are effective.
Deadlines are effective. So I thought what I'd do for and because you, like in a show we did very recently, you talked about the fact that having big events or even an event to go to gives you a deadline. It gives you like a little gun to your head. It says, get your minis painted because you want to go to the event. So I think let's do the same thing as a community. That's what we're going to do. So once a month, so at the start of the month, I know this is like halfway through the month, so this might be a little bit too late, but hopefully it's not. I've given us like 14 days. That's 2 weeks, and then every month we'll start. And I already have roadmapped it, so I already can tell you what next month's is.
It's a bloody roadmap.
I haven't. Tom's away, so I can't get the graphics done super well. So I've done them. But the idea is that like we will commit to doing something. So I already know what this month's is. I know what next month's is, and then what me and you will chat about what we want the month after to be. Right, and then the idea is that you paint some minis and then you submit them. So this is how I think it's going to work. So I've got a graphic. So thank you. Join our painting competition. Here you can see a wizard. So
very nice.
So what it's going to be is not show me the best mini you've ever painted. That's not what I'm interested in. This is paint a new mini this month. That's what I want you to do. I want you to paint a new mini this month, and I'm only asking you to paint one mini, right? Very easy. And I'm also stopping people like me and Val who get big ideas. Yeah. So I've written it out. So let me just read it out for people. Let me just get the points that I want one wizard on foot. I don't want it on a chariot. I'm not asking you to put it on a dragon. I'm not asking you to do anything. Now, generally, wizards on foot aren't actually super good in Old World. Like generally, they're on a griffin. Not a griffin, but you know what I mean.
Quick question: could they be? Like if they wanted to, are we just looking for a caster?
Absolutely not. Oh, okay. A wizard on foot. That's what I'm looking for.
One wizard on. Well, I was planning on painting a goblin shaman on a wolf. So back to the drawing board for Val.
Well, the reason is another reason I'd like to see this is I'd like to see what people are using, because when you're looking at a big army shot, sometimes a character kind of gets missed in, right? Like that's the idea. I just want to see a solo picture of your little level 4 wizard or your level 1 wizard or whatever it is as a thing, because people are using loads of alternate sculpts as well. Surely there is a goblin caster, but there's a million 3D prints, and 3D prints are super welcome. Yeah, that's very okay. So you can use 3D prints, alternate
3D printed models, perhaps of all models, the least painted, perhaps in the galaxy. So like this could be a big boon for getting paint on 3D printed models. So,
agreed.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to give out, and we're also, at the end of this, we're going to give out some prizes. Me and Val are going to do a show where we review them, and we're going to give out some prizes for having the best painted mini, right? So I want these to be new minis you've got done, not your like past masterpieces. This month will be a wizard or a rune lord or a rune priest. If you're a dwarf player, don't worry, I'm not leaving you out.
If you're into that short king thing.
Do not worry. Okay, not mounted, just on foot, living its best magical life. Me and Val will also paint up wizards this month too.
Okay,
if you've got time. Val is actually exempt from this competition this month, and maybe next month, and several months. But I'm not.
I think I can paint one guy.
Okay, all right, one guy. I'm doing one guy. I've chosen the Curseling, which is the old village. Is what I've chosen. As a Tzeentch on-foot caster, right? How are you going to do this? First, you need to post a picture in the Discord of your unpainted mini, right?
Okay.
That's what you need to do, because like I say, it's not your past masterclasses, right? And this is an honor system thing. If you are caught doing something, I'll just make sure.
Can we commit to this being our first forum channel? Because then we can actually start a proper like post your mini thread.
Oh, I already started a thread today.
Okay. Cool. So sorry about that.
Fine. We're on the same page.
No problem. Month two. We'll maybe add the tech. I just really want a forum in our Discord.
Well, we definitely could do that. That sounds really fun. So post a picture in the Discord thread. So if you are on our Patreon, it's in the Discord thread. And I'm sorry, this is only available to our Patreons. It just is. That's our community. That's who support what we do. And therefore, I would like to support them. Not to be rude, I'm offended. They're the people I want to support. So it seems rude, I know, but whatever. They support us. I want to support them. Anyway, post your completed mini before the 27th of August in the same Discord thread. You know, you could do them side by side.
We had to the end of the month. 27th of August.
That's 13 days.
It's 31 days. There's 31 days in August.
Well, that's our recording day. So if you'd like, I could push it if you're interested, because I thought 27th.
We could do then the September 4th. September 4th, we would announce the winners.
Okay, I'm going to change it.
He's going to buy you guys some time. You guys. See that? Old Val's looking out for you, contest participant.
Okay, I'm changing it to the 31st of August. Okay. Please include any social sites you like us to link to, or like an Instagram, or like you got a website or whatever, right? It must be a mini you painted. Obviously, again, if you're caught to be cheating, like I'm just gonna kick you. I'll kick you out and call you a dick online. You cannot use AI or any generative programs in any way, and then you cannot no graphic nudity. And you already know what this means. If you
big titty 3D prints, guys.
Yeah, and if you're out there being like, oh, I wonder if I should ask you, then no. The answer is already no. Yeah, so just be conscious about that, right? And then next month, for our September competition, we're going to do a command group, which will be a champion, champion, standard bearer, and a musician for a unit. Super simple. And that could be a mounted unit or it could be an infantry unit, your choice.
Okay,
right?
All right.
So that's next month. And then the idea is that we connect with everyone doing some hobby. We do some hobby ourselves. We talk about it. We showcase those things because there's some super good hobby, but I feel like there's no one centralizing it a little bit and then coming together as a community and focusing on that bit. I think that'd be good. And that's what I'd like to do. And I think that's fun. And it's super low committal, right? And if no one commits to it, I'll win. So the real gauntlet is beat me or Val.
Yeah. And I'm not going to lie to you. It's gonna give us some sweet mini porn. We're gonna have some hobby porn to put up on here. That's fantastic. Shout out, get a chance to shout out our patrons and the good work that they do.
Exactly.
I know that on the tournament reports, definitely the highlights for me are all the awesome footage that you get of people's fully painted armies. And I know that the people who get highlighted in those videos get like just feel great because their stuff is getting shown off. So now it gives everyone a chance to like strut their stuff, show their wares, and maybe win a fun prize, but also have the satisfaction of getting a job done. That's probably the tier I'll be on, which is the tier of just getting it done.
Just getting it done, baby. Like that's it. Like, and I'm just hoping that's what it does. I'm hoping as a community it pushes us over the line, which is what I want. Like, because then it's like next month let's do a command group. I didn't think I'd build up, but like painting an entire infantry block in a month, maybe that's a bit much. But like 5 cav, a monster, like that's a fun little thing.
Well, here's the thing. Like, you got to finish 5, but like if someone else in the background is like, all right, I got to do 5 for the contest, or like I want to make sure I get that done, perhaps they're also going to paint up the rest of that unit at the same time, right? So that doesn't mean you personally have to not paint more than what we're throwing out there. You can use it as a inspiration to batch paint whatever the heck you want.
Yeah.
So I think there's but having that minimum, having that deadlines, as a very neurodivergent podcast, deadlines are super important. I think, I know they are fundamental for anything that I've ever gotten on the table. It has been the deadline of getting to an event, and I know there's lots of people out there like that. So yeah, I hope this hits well. I hope this lands, Rob. I want this to be a success. Because I know how passionate you've been talking about this for a long time, and I know how passionate you are about this idea. So let's rock it.
Yeah, I just love the idea that you like, because I know for a fact, like I don't know, I'm sure we called Young Grim. What like immediately, and that's all I see people call him. They're like, "Oh, I've got Young Grim," and I'm like, "Hilarious!" Like I can't wait to do.
I prefer Yum Grim, but
I can't wait to do lore with you as well. I can't wait to like really become. Like really be deep into what this hobby space is, because like I really enjoy the events I have at the weekend where I'm looking at other people's armies and they're explaining to me that this does this, and or they've done some heraldry or something. Obviously that dream moment where I win the lottery and I just start painting the Empire army of my dreams with the heraldry, and it's perfect. Or if you could ever get to the levels of like the Bretonian painter on Instagram, who does some incredible stuff as well. There's just some great stuff. And speaking about Eric's Hobby Workshop, we kind of flip reverse Eric, where Eric's always been like a hobbyist painter. Then he came to the square-based event you ran last year in Toronto, and now he's a gamer as well, and he's added that into the mix. And I think that's nice, bringing people like from all the different fields together because that's the other part as well. I think tournament gamers get this silly rep which doesn't exist. They're normally massively serious hobbyists. They love the lore as well. So just being exemplars of what we do, I think that's where I'd like to get to. So I'm really hoping it pops off as well, because I think in the comments below, do let me know, like, Rob, I'm an event gamer, or but I take my hobby or I take the lore as seriously as someone who quote unquote is just those things, right? Because I think that's everyone, right?
I think yes, absolutely. I think well, obviously we're big stands for the tournament going community, for the event going community, and okay. There's been some gnarly hobby crimes out there that have been deployed at tournaments, no doubt about it. But I would say that there's far more examples of just incredibly painted armies, display boards, all that kind of stuff. The love and passion that goes into people's armies that we see at events. Is also probably true about armies that never get out of the basement or the garage, or the local club night or whatever. So this is a good chance to share all of that. And I'm excited to see what our people come up with. And the other thing is too, I want to say, is that Old World, as noted on the most recent financial report, has brought hobbyists old and new into the fold of Great Games Workshop, and that means that players who are coming here maybe from the game element, like Total War, folks who haven't actually played tabletop before, and they're just like, screw it, I'm gonna dive into the tabletop life. They maybe don't have the accrued amount of like crazy like hobby skills that it takes to even just glue a model together. And I've seen in our patron community an amazing like support group on like wrapping brains around how to play the rules, which is complex in its own right. And so it would be really great to see that supportive community now turn its focus also and include the people who are interested in improving hobby, trying new techniques and doing things. Because whether it's something you're doing for the first time or maybe the first time in a long time, a lot of people dusting off armies from the attic or the crawl space, or coming back to it since they maybe developed more motor skills than they had when they were 12. There's all kinds of cool techniques. I mentioned slap chop. There's all kinds of cool techniques, all kinds of cool new paints. There are these things called airbrushes. There's so many different ways, or even just ways to use rattle cans. There's like pre-colored primers. There's just so many things that you can do to not only get things painted quickly, if that's your goal, or things painted really well. And the more we have communities that you can sort of shame-free discuss that, ask questions, and learn from your friends and your peers, the more you'll feel able to go out and do that, and to feel like you're a person who can get a model painted, a unit painted, an army painted. Not sponsored by the Army Painter. So yeah. That's I think that's a really, really cool thing. Again, just building a community around it, because getting an army painted is not easy in the sense that it's easy to get down and get caught up or whatever. So anything that we can do to help support people in their hobby, maybe we can do some paint and chats. Maybe we can do some paint along-a-thons. Probably, I would say roughly, if the deadline is August 31st, the evening of August 31st, we can schedule a paint along-a-thon.
Yeah, that's true.
And we can all smash out our minis. So yeah, I think there's a lot of great opportunities here. So hopefully you guys like this idea and tell us about it.
Yeah, I would also like to just shout out, there will be prizes. There will at least be trophies that we'll send out. Obviously, we'll talk about it on the show. We're going to feature them as well. So there's like a bunch of there's that. But there's going to be three categories so far. Best painted, best conversion, and then best alternative model.
Ooh. Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw this out. I'm going to submit this as a prize on the table. The mini I paint this month will be a prize.
Whoa!
I will mail. You will get a hand-painted Val Heffelfinger original.
Wow, with a certificate.
And now I really have to friggin' paint it because it's a prize. So the ADHD is being tackled from every direction at this moment.
Okay, all right. So paint up one wizard on foot by the 31st of August. Get it. And so I'll put a link down below and I'll make it the pinned comment. And that will be, you join our Patreon, you'll be in the Discord. If you're already one of our Patreons, then easy, just go to the hobby thread or the hobby channel. There's a thread for the August painting competition. Just post them in there. We'll do updates closer to the day. But most importantly, get your brushes out, get painting. And then you're closer to getting models on the table. That's important. Which is what we're here about. We're on the channel because you get minis on the table. You're at events. You're making friends. You're having a better life. That's what we care about. So shout out to Val. Shout out to you. Good luck with the painting. Good luck to me. Come on, Rob. Come on.
You can do it.
Come on. And then I can't wait to see all your minis. It's going to be super fun. Loads of love. See you soon. Thanks for listening.